Hello. It is another week. It is another episode. And we're going to call this episode the National Eve.
Pretty
because
close.
it kind of is.
Yeah, pretty close. Next Wednesday. We're recording on Thursday night. You guys will get this on Friday right at the tips of your fingers. And that's 5 days till good time start.
I'm excited.
I'm stoked.
I'm a little bit giddy.
It's going to be so fun. I ordered my stool. Yeah.
That's great.
And
I need to order something to sit on.
Yeah, and I ordered a chest sling.
A chest sling.
Like the case that like slings across your chest, keep cash and your really nice cards in.
I thought you said chest like Bobby Fischer, and I was picturing your
just a slingshot firing rooks at people.
I know you're a nerd, but hey man, when we're bored, we will use my stool as a table. We'll set up and play chess in the middle of the National.
No, a chest sling,
okay,
so that I don't get pickpocketed of cash and valuable cards.
No, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah. I'll still have my bag to like load stuff into, but the nice stuff I'm taking with me will be in the chest sling.
I'll probably have something like that.
Yeah, and I got the industrial size, the upgraded stool that holds up to 1,000 pounds, and it's about 3 inches taller and it's 12 inches wide.
I'd be more concerned with the neuropathy from the surface size compared to how large
I got the 12-inch one.
Okay.
Which will, my hips are wider than 12 inches, but it's better than the 9-inch one that might have sodomized me. So the 12-inch, I should be in good shape.
And just like that, you just took the joke right out of my hands. All right, let's move on.
Preemptive, baby. You can't make fun of me if I make fun of myself.
Wave files, Gary. Wave files.
All right.
You see what I'm seeing now?
I do.
How the turntables.
All right. Well, those are my giant guffaws.
Okay,
though.
what you guys missed was Gary was convinced that my volume was turned up louder than his. And factually, it was not. But I gave him a little bump. So if he's yelling in your ear right now for this episode, it's on him. It's not on me.
So the only thing that looks like yelling is when I'm doing my horrible laugh that everybody makes fun of. But have I guffawing there?
Okay. Here's the word of the day is guffawing.
Guffaw,
mm-hmm.
And there's tenses to guffaw. And you can turn it from a verb into an adverb. It can be past tense.
I wish it was so past tense it didn't happen.
Okay, fair enough.
That's how I'm feeling about it. Are we ready to jump into this?
Let's do work.
Let's talk through recent pickups. You've been buying some fun stuff, so tell everybody what you picked up this last week.
Well, if you haven't seen it on TikTok or on Facebook yet, you can go check out and see everything. Off the top of my head, what all did I snag this week? I have picked up a really cool Michael Jordan card. 2 actually. I bought that little Wheaties cereal box insert, the refractor version of that. And then I picked up an 86 star number 8 BGS 8, which is a really cool card. It's actually coming from England, but it should be here via DHL on Monday, so I have it for the National. Picked up a gold Joe Burrow, Prism Gold Joe Burrow, number 1 of 10. Let's see, what else did I grab? I grabbed a Jalen Hurts Spellbound bronze, numbered to 5. Couple of really nice Brady's, a PSA 10 2013 museum collection, numbered to 50.
I really like that.
Really cool card. What else was in that stack? I picked up a couple of really cool basketball booklets, 2012-13 Panini Preferred, game-used booklets, 6-player booklets like Shaq and David Robinson and Dennis Rodman and Hakeem Olajuwon.
Did you say the Wheaties
Mutombo? One? Yeah, the Wheaties Jordan. That Griffey Jr. 2007 Gallery of Heroes, PSA 10.
Have you been mostly buying online?
No, probably 50-50 between online and shows. As usual, I scour Facebook. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. People are like, where do you find these deals? Literally, if I'm home and I'm sitting in my chair and I'm doing anything, I'm scrolling my phone looking for stuff. Constantly.
Active social life.
Constantly.
Social butterfly in the evenings.
I don't like people that much, so it's easy for me to sit at home and do that. I like you. I like my wife. I like my kids most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that order.
My wife.
So we don't need to split hairs at this point, but for me, it's been primarily focused in on inventory. So had a few fun finds. One of the things I'm looking forward to, so big difference I've noticed between running this high volume store on eBay and primarily doing shows is it feels like a little bit less pressure to find inventory. And by that, I mean it's a lot less. There's some reasons for that. So buying inventory for shows for me, typically you're targeting a margin. Unless you have tons of hours to pour in, digging through, going back and forth. Facebook's a place where a lot of that can happen. It can be tough to hit great margins, especially if you don't know exactly who that buyer is in mind. So one thing that was an advantage for me was I can buy in bulk lower end stuff, and if there's enough $3 to $5 cards in there, but there's a lot of $1 cards in a lot, I can average that out typically when I buy to about 20 cents a card. And people are pretty happy with it. So last week I was going to head out to Father and Son in Powell. It's my favorite LCS in the area.
Best one in Central Ohio.
The reason I was going out there was to just I hadn't been out of the house much. That's a trade-off with doing this at home.
Right.
And I've been working on the 1969 Topps baseball set, which I'm putting a dent in, getting some clean stuff. Wanted to see what they had there. On the way, there was an antique mall. And typically the stuff is way overpriced in showcases. People are paying rent. It's probably their collection. They're treating it more like antiques most of the time. But I ran into this fun little set that Fleer had partnered with an artist on. I believe it was in 70 or 71, but it's just a bunch of World Series, basically comic cartoons. And I got a lot of 70 of those for $1 a piece. Most of those do on the low end 3, but there's some of them that you can push $10 on there. So those are really sweet. They go back and they basically have a cartoon for each World Series, the teams that were in it, key players, and all that kind of stuff. Then I went over to Father and Son and was just walking around. I was looking for a showcase piece for the challenge that we're doing. I'm stuck at $400. I've been actively searching. I didn't see a whole lot going on there, but in the back of the shop, they have a table with just some bargain deals sometimes. And it looked like they recently picked up a large collection. The first thing I saw was a box of like 400 to 500 1975 Topps and minis, and it just said $40 for the whole box. And I'm thinking, well, this is a no-brainer because this stuff scans in super easy. I can upload hundreds of these in an hour, and it's got to be a set that people are building all the time with that rookie class and them being the minis. So I snag that. I start looking around. There's a binder of almost a complete set of 73 Topps. Then I take another look. There's a binder with 74. Then there's a box of probably 600 or 800 from 74. So I'm starting to look at all the vintage. These boxes are like, it's $20 for this binder, $10 for this box, and I could not grab stuff quick enough. Finally, I found a binder on the table that was at one time a complete set of 96-97 Flair Showcase basketball, which obviously massive rookie class. They had the parallels. They had the style, grace, what was the Showtime? So row 1, row 0, like the shimmer parallels that can fetch a lot. The class of 96 cards were all in there. So, the big names have been pulled out, but for what I'm doing, it's been a really good week for finding that kind of stuff.
Right.
I put out that I have the shop on Facebook on my personal page, and just some people I've known over the years have been reaching out, I've been buying from them. So it's still been a grind,
right,
for sure. But inventory is at almost 10,000 cards.
It's awesome.
So I think we'll be pushing. I mean, I have a goal of 100,000 cards. I'm wondering if 50 isn't more realistic,
right?
At that point, with how many you're moving a day. But those are the big things I picked up. I did get a really nice lot of the 69 Topps on eBay. A guy had a vending box, so the color on them was perfect. All the edges and corners are great. Centering was awesome on most of them. Some of them that aren't centered have just like the borders are like perfectly white, crispy, sharp.
Right.
So I was excited about that. Putting a dent in that set. It is going to get expensive because
you've got to the big boys yet. Yep.
You've seen how nice they are.
If you want to keep it consistent, you're going to be spending some money soon.
So anyway, after all that yapping, it's been a good week for buying. Not a lot of PC stuff, but good stuff for the store. All right, you want to jump into some releases?
Yeah, let's do some work here.
Topps Chrome Baseball has been released.
Yesterday was release day. It was breaking on Fanatics Live on Tuesday.
Yep. I don't know if you've all jumped in it. You jumped in a case break. How'd it go?
Brutal. It was a hobby case, not a jumbo case. Random spots were $60, and it was 28 spots because 2 of them were paired up teams. It was a brutal case. This is what happens when you have an expanded checklist, and Topps Chrome is always kind of really hit or miss anyway because it's usually a bigger set, and some of the rookie autos are like guys who had 1 at-bat in a game last year, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
What is happening right now? But I've also seen some cases that have just been phenomenal. I haven't watched any, but I've seen the results, pictures and stuff. And I know East West, Dan over at East West did 4 cases yesterday, and it was nuts what they hit in 4 cases.
Do you know how big that checklist is? If it's anything like they've been doing with all the other products,
I want to say
massive.
it's a 600 card checklist.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Close to it. And there's a bunch of new inserts this year. Fanatics is still working really hard to try to get baseball collectors to give any shits at all about case hits. They've included a couple of inserts. One of them is a rip-off of Color Blasts. And those are 1 in every 3 or 4 cases supposed to be. There's not really hard numbers on that. And home field advantage stuff in regular Topps, and then some of the stuff here. It's just they're trying really hard to get people to care. Baseball collectors have never really cared. So yeah. Oh, the award winners is a pretty interesting set. They're interesting. But here's one thing with this set that's really important. One of the things that they did with this is there are some Legends autos, right? There's Sandy Koufax autos. There's Ken Griffey Jr. autos.
Yeah.
They didn't tell anybody this. They didn't make a public announcement about it. This is why it's so important before you start buying stuff, chasing specific things, to understand how configuration works. Those autos are only available in Breakers Delight boxes. They are not in hobby boxes. They are not in jumbo boxes. They are literally only in Breakers Delight boxes.
What are those? Is that
they are a 5-card box. They're all autos.
It's similar to like an HTA.
Yes, it's exactly what it is. It's an HTA, and you probably are not going to find any at your LCS. You can find some at like Steel City and Dave and Adams and things like that. But Breakers Delight boxes are where it's at. So if you see like the Dodgers or the Mariners and the price is overinflated in hobby and supers, avoid that breaker. Because one of 2 things is happening there. Either the breaker has no idea what he's breaking, or he's hoping you don't have any idea what he's breaking and that you're willing to pay through the nose and increase his margins on teams that the Legends are really the only things you're going for.
Yeah. It does look like they have these auto and relics where they actually do the certification number. Like
they've done that for a couple years. Yeah.
What product did that first?
Tribute.
Was it Tribute?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't hate that.
Tells you exactly what game it was from.
Yeah, that's cool for PC. It is something that probably didn't matter that much for a long time, but now that Panini's game use stuff may be from a different player or may not be from any particular event at all.
Or not even game used, which they don't even try to.
Who knows where it's from? That's kind of nice. So price points, hobby box, you says hitting around like it's probably around $249.
$250, and then jumbos are $425 to $450 right now. Although they're gonna steadily go up. Retail should hit this week. If I rip any of this stuff myself, it will be retail. But realistically, I'll probably do what I always do: wait for the degenerate guys to get into 30 breaks, and then I will buy all their rookie base in one bit. Like I bought that huge Adley lot last year, and I paid like 30 cents a card, and it was refractors and X-fractors and base and pinks. And a lot of these guys don't, if it's not a massive hit, they don't care about it. So I'll happily buy all that base and hold it for 10 years and call it a day.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that. I'll probably be picking up some of that retail as well. I have opened a few blasters. I ripped some Bowman last week. I opened a hobby box of Heritage. Nothing crazy in there. Yeah, I like Topps. I like the rookie class this year. So
Well, you know what you should do? The next time you're going to rip something, you should join in our other content creation and hop on TikTok and do a video of ripping it. So at least these folks see your face occasionally anymore.
I'm a legend.
You haven't made a TikTok video in 2 months.
If you'd like to see me, the ball card store on eBay. I'm legit having to decide between listing and making money and content, but I'm sure I'd like to give you all a tour and show you how this works. That's probably what we're going to do. And then begin showing you some cards that are going to be in dollar boxes that you may not realize are worth a lot more. Like the Topps Heritage Tattoo Nolan Arenado card that looked like a cheap kid sticker. Sold for I think $15 or $16.
And you had 10 cents in it.
Yep. So
don't give away all of our
No,
secrets.
I won't give it all away.
But we'll give you some of them.
Yep. Let's move on. Topps Composite is a new football product being released. I've had
It's going to
several
be basketball too.
Yep.
Yep.
Several of you have been asking about that, been messaging us. What do we think about this product? So I would like to break it down. First off, I'll give my 2 cents and then let Gary unpack it further. But essentially, this is the Topps version of Chronicles, where you have several different products in one product.
Correct.
None of them are necessarily high-end products. But at the price point that they're starting at, from what I saw, it was $229, something like that.
$249.
$249. You get 3 autographs. With the football. Football has already released, right?
The football releases next week. Pre-order is started now. I had heard that we talked about it a couple weeks ago that they were trying to get it out before the National.
Yeah.
So pre-order started 2 or 3 days ago.
Now, important thing to remember, while Fanatics has a name, image, and likeness contracts, they do not have the league license until when on football?
Next year.
So that means no logos, no team logos. You're going to have some Photoshop stuff. So when you see that price point, $249, you get 3 autographs in there. You could hit some big cards. I wouldn't be surprised if this year that product isn't a little bit nerfed, meaning they're going to have some juicier stuff in there. Because when it gets licensed, I think they're going to drop it at a little bit higher price point.
I think they're going to drop it at the same price point. The one thing about this product that I think everybody really needs to remember is if you want a CJ Stroud auto, it's where you're going to get it because he doesn't have an agreement with Panini. Same thing with Caleb Williams. Same thing with Bryce Young. I believe the same thing with Will Levis. So you've got a scenario where the biggest names, the biggest rookies, are not going to have licensed autos. So these are going to be some of your best bets. From a product standpoint, I think it's going to be pretty cool. And again, if you want a semi-affordable rip that makes sense, go nuts.
Breaks will be cheap on that. That's one where. So if you're in the game that I'm in now, it's going to be a great product because.
Well, think about how well Bowman U does.
Yeah. Or you're going to have a ton of numbered stuff, right? You're going to have some. I don't know the configuration on it. Let me pull that up, but
it should be 24 packs in a box, 8 cards in a pack, I believe. And like you said, 3 autos, and the set is going to be a lot like Chronicles. Like you said, it's going to be kind of multiple stuff, but it's going to be heavily rookie focused, and from there you go.
Have you seen the vet checklist on this at all?
It's mostly retired guys.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly retired guys.
Most of the autos will be that, right?
Yeah, Anthony Richardson stuff will be cool. His stuff is selling like hotcakes right now.
So one thing that I like is here's the different products that are in there. So you have Topps Chrome Black, Topps Chrome Base, Topps
Cosmic Chrome, yeah.
Cosmic Chrome, Topps Finest, Topps Midnight, and then that's pretty.
Yeah.
So one thing that I didn't consider is like I'm just looking on the Chasing Majors website, which is kind of
beautiful Barry Sanders auto.
Yeah, Barry Sanders in a Topps Chrome Cosmic.
And guys, these are on card. They're not
yeah.
stickers.
So a vet auto chase is not a bad play. Also, when guys are unloading this stuff, I don't know. Here's my opinion on it. Typically, when stuff gets released right away, it's very expensive initially to buy. So like a CJ Stroud auto, that's going to be a very expensive card. However, when I'm looking at a Barry Sanders that gets pulled, a Barry Sanders auto out of that, the question is, how greedy are they going to be with comps when there are licensed Barry Sanders autos out there?
So to give you an idea, I think strong. So one of the things that I bought this week at Xenia was a Leaf Matchbooks booklet, and it's a dual Emmitt Smith Barry Sanders auto numbered to 25, and it's a $250 card.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, if it was licensed, if it was a Panini card, it would be a $1,000 card.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. I think you might be able to scoop up some recent hits here and not pay that 2 or 3x multiplier that falls off, in a few months.
Right.
It's still a new product. Cosmic is a more expensive one, so I'm guessing those will, typically hold a little more value. But honestly, like out of Chronicles, if you hit a Panini Black rookie of a top quarterback a few years back, it wasn't like, it's still just a top Chrome Black rookie auto, even out of Chronicles. It almost downgrades the value of that.
Yeah, but with this being the first year, one of the things that people are really excited about Topps making football and basketball products again. And with this being the first release that they've done of it since Fanatics took over, I think there could be a lot happening with it. Unlike another product that just came out this week, and don't fall for it, guys. Don't fall for it. Panini literally launched a full retail product in blaster boxes, and it's just called Caitlin Clark. And it's just Caitlin Clark cards.
Do you remember?
Blaster box.
Do you remember when? Okay. So yes, do not fall for it.
Yeah.
How do we know this? Because it takes a long time to sell all these special Jordan sets that are out there, and that's
right.
Michael Jordan.
Right.
So there are people that are going to fill that set out. I had one the Jordan collection set. How many years did I have that out of my? Finally,
2.
I said, I can't get rid of it. And a guy was like, do you want to get rid of it? I said, yes. And I gave it to him at like half of comps. That's the only way I could move that thing.
Yeah.
Now, if I had it, I would have sold them
on
at
$3
a piece
yeah.
on eBay. But let me read through the autograph checklist. I'm grabbing the composite patch autos, the horizontals. So Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis. Okay, cool. Kurt Warner, Bruce Smith, Jim Kelly, Jamal Charles, Boomer Esiason, Jason Sehorn, excuse me, Troy Aikman, Ken Norton Jr., Billy Sims. Billy Sims signs everything.
Yep.
Sterling Sharp, J.J. Watt, Dante Hall, Rob Gronkowski, Howie Long, Rod Woodson, Ricky Williams. Meh is kind of the vet, right?
Well, I mean, for that part, but go look at some of the other.
Yeah, there's some. I saw Zach Thomas has several autos. Gronk.
Go to the Cosmic ones because
Okay.
those are going to be the ones that bang.
These are the ones that bang. All right, same 4 quarterbacks. Jay Novacek, Sehorn, Stephen Davis.
Devin Hester stuff sells like hotcakes.
Mike Singletary, Chad Johnson, Barry, Troy, Edge, Keenan McCardle.
Brady. There's Brady autos, guys.
That's big.
There's
Torrey
Brady
Holt,
autos.
Eli Manning, Darrell Rivas, Westbrook, Hines Ward. The Steeler fans are going to go nuts.
There's
over
Jerry
that.
Rice autos.
Jerry Rice autos, Sean Alexander. So I mean the vet. So here's what I have noticed them doing more of is beefing up the
There's
vet
a Marino
autos.
auto in the Resurgence stuff.
Yeah, this kind of all over the place. Andre Reed, Javon Curse, Bob Greasy,
Bradshaw.
Let's see.
Brian Dawkins
Warren
sells really
Moon.
well.
Seeing if there's any others. Steve Young, Staubach,
Brewski.
Earl Campbell.
Yep.
So what's cool is you have so many different products that have different signers in them inside the same one. Ray Lewis. You don't see a ton of those.
No, I think it's going to be a really fun, cool product. And here's what's really neat about it. You can buy a case for like $2,100.
Yes. So think through this. So let's say every 2 boxes you hit a Hall of Fame or a big vet auto.
Well, if you look at this auto checklist, you're getting 3 autos in every box.
Yeah. Oh, Favre, Marino, Randy Moss, Archie Manning, Joe Montana, Ray Lewis. We've already been through that.
Like the worst autos that I'm seeing here are like Billy Sims.
Bo Jackson's in there.
Yeah.
Bradshaw.
Calvin Hill's probably not a great one.
Bolitnikov, Eddie George.
You got Lawrence Taylor.
Jason Taylor.
Yeah, I mean,
hit me up, y'all.
I think it's going to be a really fun set. And I don't rip a ton of stuff, but this is something I'll probably buy a few boxes of.
This is just your reminder that if you're like me and you're like, yeah, I'm not so sure, go look up the checklist because I'm getting more impressed the more I look through this. I will also say this. It seems like they took the time to think about how they want to design these without the logos.
Yeah.
Like the Stroud that I showed earlier, the Stroud auto that we were looking at, like right here. Like your mind is playing tricks on you to see the logo that's not there.
Yeah, because you see a reflection on the helmet and you're like, oh.
Now that Kurt Warner,
not so much.
That looks rough. But no, so that'll be an interesting product. So those of you asking, I haven't seen it ripped, obviously. At that price point with 3 autographs and a decent checklist, it may be worth opening a box. I always advise to have a little bit of caution. If you're unsure, probably don't go in a whole case on this, but here's the thing. If these are actually loaded with these signatures and people are pulling Hall of Fame autographs pretty consistently out of case breaks, it's not going to be $249 for long. That price is going to go up pretty quick because the timing that it's dropping with everybody getting into camp soon, that could get pretty expensive, right?
Yes.
So that may be one worth buying a box, which I don't say to do that too often, but I would probably consider doing that on that one. Okay. Moving right along. Fanatics is trying to corner more of the market. So they just released their own selling platform. Why don't you break it down for everybody?
Yeah, so basically they're setting themselves up to have at least a little tiny piece of damn near every transaction that happens in this hobby outside of Facebook. So a lot of you know that they bought out PWCC a few months ago, and nobody really knew what that was going to look like or anything else. Well, this week they released Fanatics Collect. So you can go to your app store, Android or Apple, and you can download Fanatics Collect, and it is an eBay competitor and just for sports cards. You're going to see a lot of the same type of stuff you would have seen on PWCC or that you see on Golden, but you're also going to see some lower end stuff. And knowing how Fanatics markets and how they've been doing things and growing their overall platform, it would not shock me in the least if within 6 or 7 months it's the second biggest sports card selling platform other than eBay.
Which eBay has come a long way in making card selling less painful. But you still get, the fees are still pretty intense. The pay to play with promoted listings hurts. If they found one that's seller friendly, if they find a way to do that seller friendly, I think it could create real issues. You know, the thing I'm running into is store volume. How many cards can you sell where it makes sense, right?
Right.
If all my cards are worth $500, then I don't mind paying a reinsertion fee. But if you're every month, it automatically reposts your $3 card or $2 card, and you're paying 10 cents a piece once you've hit your max, which is for me will be around 60,000 before I have to upgrade my membership.
Right.
I don't want to play that game because 10,000 more cards. Do the math.
Well, you're
$1,000
a month
yeah,
just in
yeah.
reinsertion fees.
So you can lose out real quick. So it'd be interesting to see if they come up with some creative solutions for that. And maybe they just don't want to host a bunch of $2 cards. That's fine too.
Right.
But this isn't the first or the 15th time somebody's had a new selling platform. So what can Fanatics do that the last few of these that have dropped haven't done that will make it a success?
Well, I think the biggest one is this, and it's the most obvious answer, and people are going to go, well, that doesn't mean anything. No, it actually does. They have billions of dollars to put behind it. The key to success for anything like this is 2 things. You'd like to think it's functionality, but that's the second most important thing. The biggest one is market awareness, and they're going to blast it. How late was Fanatics to the sportsbook game? and where are they in the
Yeah.
sportsbook game
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, when you have billions of dollars and a good marketing team, you're going to be successful. So I think that it won't take too long for them to be a really go-to spot. Now, it may be a spot where they're trying to compete with eBay and Golden and that segment of the hobby versus the low-end segment of the hobby. But either way, they are going to try to get a piece of every angle of this business. They want to get a piece when you buy boxes. They want to get a piece when you grade stuff. They want to get a piece when you sell stuff on their platforms. They want a piece of all of it, which with all the money they sunk into those licenses, I understand.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some creative solution. It'd be interesting, at some point if there's a membership that impacts, is there a way where they would consider Fanatics fan cash as a credit for sellers? Are there ways for them to convert some of their sales into purchasing wax or Fanatics memorabilia? Or like they may come up with some pretty creative ideas that, for me, if it's all right, the same fee structure, but once every 3 months, it's like Sky Miles and I get a box of wax for free.
Right.
Like that might be worth it for me to migrate a lot of stuff over there. So that'd be definitely something to keep an eye on. But I've seen and heard of a whole lot of these things pop up and fail. But you're right.
Oh, goodness. Look at you.
That was a deep yawn.
Yeah, it was.
But you're right. They don't have the Fanatics money and definitely not the marketing.
No, like I thought, and My Slabs is a great platform, but they just don't have the dollars or the marketing budget. So it's been a very slow growth curve for them.
Yeah.
They haven't tried to go faster than their money allows them to, which has allowed them to stay around and be relevant for several years now, and I think they will be. But when you're only charging 1% on either side, your revenues aren't massive. You're counting on scale to make your money, and they're not there yet. Whereas Fanatics, I haven't even looked at what their fees are like. I'm going to guess that they're going to be very, very aggressive, at least early on with fees, to try to get people to go away from eBay and Golden. But we'll see.
Yeah. We will. All right, Nationals next week. What do we have left? So several have messaged us, what days are we going to be up there? We've said it before, but I get it. We're boring. There's no way you made it that long last time. So we'll be there Thursday through Sunday. We did do the VIP, so if you did VIP passes, there's lounges, different spots to hang out. We will be working the dollar boxes, but we would love to talk with you, hang out, go buy cards together. You can buy our stuff. We'll buy your stuff maybe. And looking forward to seeing everybody there.
Shoot us a message. Let us know when you're there, where you're at. We'd love to get together.
Yeah, for sure. So Facebook's probably going to be the fastest. I don't know what the internet situation will be there, but if you're at the show and you just want to know about where we're at, shoot us a message, and we'll make sure to let you know what table we're at.
And if you haven't done so yet, go subscribe to our TikTok channel, because we will be at least I will be. I can't speak to Jason, but I will be dropping 2 or 3 pieces of content on TikTok every day that we are there.
Interesting. That's quite a commitment. Let's see if he follows through. 2 to 3 a day.
Yeah, even if it's only 60-second ones.
Okay.
Something that I found at the show, cool card that I bought, all that kind of stuff.
You'll know it's us because of our camera crew and all of our branded clothes that we'll be wearing every day.
Please, God, no. We will have little badges, but that'll be it.
Gosh, again, that's the one thing I can't stand is all the fake influencers.
Right.
And half of the real ones that are going to be there.
Yep.
Screw those guys, because really all they did was they created a following, and now they get 130% of comps.
I'll tell you what. I'll say this.
Am I wrong?
No. And if anybody wants to, if somebody puts together a GoFundMe that gets enough cash in it between now and like Saturday, I'll punch Jeff Wilson in the face. I'll just walk up and give a good hard swing, and I'll take the charge. I get the cash. It's got to have to be a lot of cash, though.
I don't think that should be on the air.
It's a joke.
You'll never get past his security.
Oh, no, I will. Have you not seen his videos?
He's going to be hard to catch, man. He has so much inventory he has to buy. He is going to be busy.
Yeah, we haven't heard too much about Cards HQ lately, have we?
They've been doing a lot of buying.
I bet they have. They aren't doing a lot of selling, I don't think.
I mean, they could be doing a lot, but it has to be so much.
Yes.
It has to be so much
to
keep that space full. But they're changing.
They're changing all of retail for everybody forever.
Yeah.
Not just card retail, all of retail. Dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's going to be sweet. Now we're getting angsty. This thing. What else you got? Anything else?
No, I think we hit all of it.
Short and sweet and hard to beat, huh?
Yeah, we'll drop an episode live from, well, not live, but we will record while we're at the National next week.
Yep.
If we are able to, I can't promise we're going to be able to, but if we have the ability to catch somebody that you guys care about at all and get a quick little 5-minute Q&A that we can record on a phone and drop into the episode, we'll try to.
Yeah, who should we talk to? Tell us.
Yeah, give us a shout. Let us know who you want us to talk to, and we'll try.
Yeah.
See what we can do.
This has been the Ball Card Show, the Sports Podcast.
For the Sports Collector.
Bye now.
Peace.